Hello, this is the 2017 version of a LEGO Star Wars A-Wing. It is the most up-to-date shape with the angled fins on the back and probably the most detail that they've included in an A-Wing model to date. Taking a look at some of the key angles, it looks very sleek as you rotate it around, and you see that influence that this gave to the starfighters of other sci-fi franchises quite very clearly. This does use some detailing in the form of actual physical LEGO part builds, combined with some detailing in the form of stickers, such as the stickers that they had to use on the fins at the tail, and also stickers along the side of the fuselage. They've used some newer pieces than they had available before to change up the design of the cannons on the side, so they look different in size, much more distinct than before, and yet they've preserved the ability to rotate them around. So in its landed form, you can do like that, or you can just angle them around while it's in flight. Of course, that was never seen actually happening in the original trilogy or in any of the original games, but it is actually canonical. On the underside are landing gear. The nose one retracts all the way. The rear ones, the main ones, retract most of the way, and that gives you a nice look for any kind of flight pose if you want to make a clear stand for it or hang it from a ceiling or something. The canopy has no stickers and no print on it. It swings forward as always, and the pilot sits there with plenty of room around him so you can grab him pretty easily. It's a studless connection down at the base, so it's easy to put him in. He doesn't need to lean back crazy far to fit beneath there, and he has a console in front of him. There's no flight yoke for him to hold on to, but that uses a sticker on the 1x2 cheese slope there. And behind him, you can actually remove this to get a little storage compartment, a generous one, which right now just has his blaster, but I'm sure you can put other stuff in there too. This does have working projectiles. It has two spring-loaded shooters here in the front, and the tails of those projectiles are way deep inside the fuselage, and you pretty much don't see the thing too much unless you really get down to a low angle. So those are integrated nicely. These are the firing buttons for those. You can push one at a time, or you can push them together. Just, very, very subtle right there, and those work quite well immediately. And if you want to entirely leave these out, and then you see them even less. They call this thing a service cart. It's one of those typical kind of nondescript floating ground service and maintenance vehicles that you would see going around a rebel base. This one has a ladder around the back which can actually be detached as a unit with kind of its stand, and it still is able to stay up on its own. You can actually use that up against the A-Wing to provide some options for a figure to realistically be getting up to it. It sticks up a little bit farther than the thing actually goes, but I think that actually makes sense. And just continuing on with the cart, he's got his all-important coffee mug there, a couple of extra spring-loaded shooters, not just one in this case, so actually an extra pair. He's got a console at the front with a sticker on it. This thing back here has a console with a sticker on it. I don't know exactly what that's supposed to be. A couple of headlights on the thing. This is a welding rig. There's a tool, and this can actually be removed all together, so that can be dropped off. There's nothing inside of here right now, but you can put whatever you want in there that will fit. So this can just be dropped off by itself, something for maintenance or, I don't know, fueling or something that could also potentially be attached to this point right here. It's a little bit more awkward that way, but it is something that can be done. Let me see if this will still fit. Yes, that will still fit like that, and just gives you a little different look. The set includes the much anticipated new version of a surprise. It's just a handful of years later, but I'm already a Rebel Alliance General, Lando Calrissian. They've gone over to the medium nougat color for his vest, rather than dark tan. I think this is a closer approximation. Still not ideal, but I think amongst the available colors from LEGO, it was a really good choice. The A-Wing pilot looks great through and through. The ground technician dude looks great through and through as well, but I'm always the biggest fan of the Rebel helmets that they come up with from the Lego Star Wars line. The cape for Lando is the soft, flowy kind, you know, the more modern style, which is great. It feels good and it looks good. It has a good pattern, I think, that works especially well for Lando. There's a little bit of print on the top of this Rebel helmet here as well. And there is an alternate face for Lando. So the front was kind of the modern version of his original face, and then here's his more kind of slimy laugh or slimy smile face. You know, it's not a completely genuine smile, I think, you know, because it's a little bit off to the side. Look what you can do with these capes that are so soft. You just rotate it around. Don't have to worry about it getting all crinkled up. That's pretty good detail. I couldn't ask for more on the back of Lando's torso. As for the A-Wing pilot, nothing there. Just a little speck of dust. So overall, I think the design is good here and the figures are good. I think the only thing really missing from this version of the A-Wing is a little picture on the back or two to suggest alternate builds to turn this into like a maintenance bay or a walking mech of some sort. But you know, just the official build, I think, is good. The price to part ratio is reasonable, but to be honest, I feel like the overall price for how much stuff you get here is a bit steep. I wish the thing was maybe 15 to 20% cheaper. Yeah, I think that would be about the upper end of an initial retail price for me. It doesn't feel like, you know, in the US this is at a retail price of 40 bucks. I don't feel like I get 40 bucks worth of stuff here. The parts are there, the building techniques are there, the sturdiness, you know, the value is objectively there, but just the size of the thing feels small for 40 bucks. And it's even worse in other countries. I think it requires some really, really extreme nostalgic goggles to not call this the most accurate and best looking original trilogy A-Wing from Lego to date. And if you can find it on sale or use a coupon or gift card or VIP points towards the purchase of it, then I think you can get a good deal. But that's it for all I have to say about this one. It is your turn to share what you think about the build, what it looks like, the minifigs, and also the value. So I look forward to your feedback, and I'm going to continue working on more videos, and I will talk to you again very soon.